Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I am your lovely host for this channel, Jason. All right, so this video is all about the Tarot of Oneness. This is a indie deck that I purchased off of Etsy, and I have been so excited to receive this deck. It is still in its packaging, so I figured I would do a live unboxing, first impressions. I originally saw this deck over at Ryan's channel, who is Something Starts Ringing Tarot, which I will put in the description box below his channel so you can check it out. So folks, let's get into it, shall we? We are all channeling the energy of the Fool when we leap into a new adventure with innocence and excitement. We all experience death and rebirth, justice, judgment, and the lure of unhealthy vices. We all need to be reminded to see things from a new perspective, and that the ending of one thing is the beginning of another. The Tarot of Oneness invites you to step into the energy of each card to channel guidance for yourself and others. This deck is brought to you by Robin Voisey. Might have butchered the last name. It is an 84 card tarot deck that enables you to connect with your divine guidance and embrace oneness. All right, so it comes in this magnetic box here. I love when a card deck comes in this really sturdy box. So you just open it up as so, and then boom, look at that beautiful flower. And then it has the ribbon here to pull open the cards and the guidebook. Ooh, the guidebook is chunky. She is thicker than a Snicker, and it is in color, so I love that for us. So I pull up in here, and then these lovely cards have like a, what is it, like a tangerine edging here. Really like that. The cardstock is going to be, ooh, it's a little cardboardy. It has, I guess, a matte finish. So it is lovely in the hands. So before I get into the cards and the overall unboxing of this deck, this is a deck that reminds me of quite a lot of like Spacious Tarot, maybe Way Home Tarot, and there's another one. So this one, it just seems really different. So I definitely wanted to add this to my deck library because it does have something unique to it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Diving into the major arcana, we have, of course, the Fool here. We have someone taking a leap of faith into this aura of color and just mystery. Very foolish vibes. Just basically taking a leap of faith and just going into a direction that you just don't know what's going to happen. And that's just very Fool energy. So definitely hits the mark on that. There's the back of the cards. Really vibrant. The Magician. We have here, instead of the 4 elements, we have these 4 geometric symbols here. Basically having all of the elements that you need to go about where this person is really, they have everything in their hands. Everything that they need to go forth into their journey, they already have it, just need to use it wisely. This is a lovely High Priestess, very, it's giving me a spa moment here, very reclusive, going on a retreat. Has the black and white pillars, but they act as curtains here, very lovely. High Priestess is all about following one's intuition. And this Empress is very, very, very lovely. So the Empress is all about nurturing and creativity. And here with the Elephant, it's just a very different take on the Empress, which I really like. And when I saw this deck on Ryan's channel, I did not go through all of the cards because as soon as I saw some of the cards, I was like, I have to have this deck. Just like this Emperor. I love this Emperor. Emperor cards to me are always stuffy. So here we have like the first person perspective of maybe like a lion, and they are in their element of being in that leadership role. The Hierophant here, all about tradition and religion. So we have someone here that's holding a book, and it has the two symbols of the keys, which is very traditional. And it has like a some type of bird here, maybe an eagle. The Lovers. And there's actually two Lovers cards, so it depends on which you prefer. The Chariot. Have these two dolphins here, and there it looks like we're actually on a boat, so this is from our perspective. So we're seeing that these two dolphins are pulling or in front of the boat. Chariot is all about having that balance and going forth, trying to create harmony between the two forces. And the Strength, I love the Strength. So we have our perspective of touching the bear, caressing the bear, that we're not afraid of this large animal that could in fact rip our faces off, but there's some type of gentleness about this bear. And the Hermit here, very classic. So coming from our perspective, we're coming from the hustle and bustle, and we're retreating to the unknown, retreating to collect one's thoughts to make the next move. And the Wheel of Fortune, this was very interesting. So I think this is the Tree of Life. I'm not sure, I didn't look in the guidebook, obviously, but this is basically about what comes up, what goes down, basically karma. Whenever we have a sad moment, just know that there's going to be happiness afterwards. Justice, very traditional. So we have the gavel and the two, what have you, you know what I mean. And it looks like it has books in the background. So this is about knowing right from wrong. Perspective is the Hanged Man. So we have all these hot air balloons. So while I don't like the name changes, I do like this in terms of like perspective. So with the Hanged Man, we're always trying to like flip to the other end to see the perspective of someone else's view. So with the hot air balloons, we're actually coming up from the ground, going into the clouds, over the clouds, to gain a new perspective. Death/Rebirth. Honestly, not a favorite card of mine. I don't like snakes, and this one, since it is very in my face, not a big fan. So the Death Rebirth is all about essentially shedding one's skin to uncover or unveil a new life. So when one door opens, when one door closes, another one opens. So I get that the snake is represented here. The Temperance, really majestic, very calming. The Temperance is all about creating that harmony between balance. It's kind of like the Chariot, but here we have someone who is stepping one foot in the water, and then one is stepping onto these like pebbles or rocks. Very cute indeed. The Devil here, ooh, he is very tempting, or she is very tempting, or they are very tempting here. The Devil is all about tempting us with our vices, knowing from splurging rather than indulging. We have to know the balance between those two. The Tower, very traditional here from our perspective. We are literally falling from this tower. The tower is all about having our foundation being ripped apart, broken, so that we can build up again. The Star, it's just very beautiful. The Star is about all about having hope and not losing it. After the very traumatic experience of the tower, our lives have changed, and this is a representation of that. Things will get better, and never to lose hope. The Moon, a very beautiful moon. I like how there's different blues, purples here with the owl on the branch. The Moon is a very mysterious card. Not everything is what it seems. The Sun, very cute. We are riding a horse on the beach. There's a sand castle here. The Sun is all about doing things that make us happy, right? And if you are a beach lover, unlike me, then you will definitely resonate with this card. Awakening is Judgment, a card that in general I have a hard time with, but here looks like we have a haha moment. We just have a new perspective and we have a light bulb going off. The World, I like this. We have all these butterflies going up seemingly to the sky. The world is about having all of our accomplishments done. We are closing a chapter and perhaps beginning a new one. So we have a total of 5 additional cards that aren't part of the tarot system. So for the higher self, this card illustrates the dynamic between higher dimensional versions of you and your physical self. Going into the life force energy, there is more information in the guidebook. I just don't want to spend too much time on these additional cards. Life force energy is the essence of life that flows through all living things. When you experience huge events that impact you deeply, your life force energy pathways can become blocked or sluggish, which can lead to illness, depression, even disease. So far, these cards seem very oracly. I'm not a big fan of oracle decks because they just seem very, what's the word? There's not enough substance to them. Oneness. Oneness feels like total joy and bliss where time and space do not exist. It is in that empty space between your thoughts where you experience absolute peace, harmony, equality, and unconditional love. So going into present moment. Present moment card has landed in your path to remind you that the past has already passed and the future is yet to come. You can't change what has happened, nor can you control every little outcome in the future. Ooh, I like that one. Synchronicity. Life is not a series of random events. As our consciousness expands, we are reminded of how intricately we are all connected. We begin to notice synchronicity and evidence of a divine plan. So for these additional cards, if you like additional cards, you're going to love them. For me, they are fine. All right, so we have come to the minor arcana. I have the aces out, cups, wands, pentacles, and swords. Let's dive into the element of water, aka the cups are emotions. So we have this very beautiful otter here holding, looks like a some type of cup or some type of holding object that has the water, and then it has like this image of a dove, which is essentially the beginning of our emotional state of new emotions and new relationships, new friendships, what have you. The Two of Cups, we have that duality here. We have a connection forming between two people. The 3 here are really lovely. Looks like they are having tea and biscuits. We have 3 cups, 3 hands, all of different ethnicities, which I really like. So where we have that connection with the 2, we are going forth and bringing in another person to connect even more friendships, more relationships, more bonds. The 4, I really, really like this. So for the majority of the card, it's black and white, or just rather gray. And then here we have a smidge of color here. So the 4 of Cups is about boredom, or you're focusing on the things that you shouldn't be focused on, right? So if you had just moved out of this gray area into the light, you'll see that you have more that's being offered to you. Very beautiful. Then the 5, this is one of the cards that I really liked because the 5 of Cups is about essentially crying over spilled milk. So a lot of people do not like when it rains. I actually like when it rains. So because when it's raining, you really don't want to go outside, right? You just kind of want to like, stay in. Here, the focus is very blurry. It's only being focused on like here, and then basically, it's a really, really good card that I resonate with. The 6 of Cups here, they're having that nostalgia moment, that kindness. So we have all different things going on here. We have Happy Valentine's Day chocolate box. We have some pictures. We have some jewelry. All the things that can bring back good memories, right? And that's what the 6 of Cups is particularly about. The Seven of Cups here. Ooh, this is interesting. So we have like all these different cups with different things. We have all these different options in front of us. We are actually at a standstill, and we're basically have to make a choice of what to do next and what will better serve our emotional state. The Eight of Cups, oh, this is lovely. So the Eight of Cups is about ending one journey and continuing on to something else that will better serve us. So we're taking these scissors and cutting the tie that bind us. The Nine, having all of our dreams come true, essentially. Have this golden egg. The duck here, we have you can see that the 2 feet of the duck. So the duck is actually looking at the eggs. That's very cool. I'm excited to learn more about these cards with the guidebook. The Ten of Cups here, giving me very Lisa Frank. So if you know Lisa Frank back in, I don't know, maybe the 80s, definitely the 90s, you'll definitely know Lisa Frank, having all that color. So the Ten of Cups is about having our emotional needs met, and we're sharing it with everyone. So we have all these whales. I think they're whales. Oh my gosh, I don't know my animals, folks. I believe these are all whales. Now for the core cards, they have been changed. So instead of page, knights, queens, and kings, we have inspiration, which is the page. The action for the knight, again, the knights are all about taking action, and then the pages are all about learning. Spirit for the queen, and then the king for embodiment. Yeah, embodiment. So going into the wand suit, our creativity, our passions, our sexual drive. Looks like we have a lizard here that is holding on this pencil-shaped object, but I really don't think it's a pencil. The 2, having a plan and zeroing in on it. So it looks like this person has like a magnifying cube, and they are setting their sights on something greater. And then with the 3, we're actually setting sail. Literally, we're on a sailboat, setting sail to our goals. The 4 of Wands is all about that celebratory card of being celebrated. So I'm not too sure about what's going on here. Definitely a guidebook moment that I'll have to look. The 5 of Wands. Ooh, look at this. This is very interesting that now that we're in the snow, this is probably the only non-fiery card. But the 5 is all about having that conflict with each other. So we have these 4 wolves here that seem to be in a conflict, or these 3 to be in a conflict. But we have here the 4th one looking at us. Are we the 5th wolf? So that also, with this deck, it paints some of these cards in a different perspective, and we can look at these cards in a different way than we normally would. So that's what I really like about this deck. So the 5 of Wands is definitely a card that where you have to, you could be in, you can look at this card many different ways. The 6 of Wands here, ooh, this is an interesting take. So the 6 of Wands is about also being celebrated for our victory, but we're actually, coming home from a long, hard battle. This is what I'm just getting from the traditional artwork. Here, we're actually taking pictures of the paparazzi. The 7 here, ooh, interesting. So this is the defense card. So we have all these sharks. And it looks like we have some divers here, and we are the diver ourselves. It looks like we have caught a fish, I think, maybe. So this is about standing up for oneself. However, this is a card that you can also look in a different way because we haven't been noticed, technically, from these sharks. So it'd be interesting to read what the guidebook has to say. And then the 8 of Wands is very traditional. We are going with the flow, folks. We are on a time travel, fast-paced journey, and we are just really going with the flow. This is definitely giving me a Gran Turismo moment where we're just flying through the paved highway, going on our journey. The Nine of Wands. Ooh. So the Nine of Wands is essentially about, although we are badly damaged and injured through, I don't know, maybe like our journey, what have you, we're almost there, but not quite. You can look at this different ways. So the turtles have really, they've been on land and they really are trying to get into the ocean. So they're almost there, but they have another obstacle coming their way. Ten of Wands. Ooh, so the Ten of Wands is about carrying too much burden, and we need to release some of that unnecessary task or burden. So this person is literally, looks like they're pulling a rock. It looks like they've been pulling the rock downhill. Wow, really stressful work there. All right, going into the courts, we have an inspiration for the page. Have this candle just burning bright, releasing that creativity, that color, the action. Here we have the knight on a camel going forth on their journey. The Spirit, ooh, look at this Queen of Wands. It has all the classic iconography. It has the sunflower, the black cat, very Queen of Wands. And the embodiment of Wands, have that King. Going into the Pentacles here are the beginning of wealth, our careers, our finances. This is very interesting. So for the Pentacles, this looked very Ace of Cups. So I'm interested to read the guidebook more about this. The Two, having that juggling act. You really will focus on these three objects here, but the Two Pentacles is right here. This is a very interesting card. The Three, having that collaborative moment. It's time to collaborate. The Four, ooh, look at this. We are from the perspective of that squirrel. So they're collecting their nuts, collecting the pentacles on top of this tree. The Four of Pentacles is all about taking resources of what we have. Very cute. And then the Five here, we are in need of help. We have socks that have holes in them, and we have these Five Pentacles, very traditional from the RWS with the church. It's all about asking for help. The Six, this is about giving and receiving. So we have this person either trying to give that away or trying to collect. All depends on the perspective of the card. Interested to read what the guidebook says. The Seven of Pentacles. Ooh, look at this. So this is all about taking a step back and seeing how far we've come. So for the traditional artwork, we have someone with a hoe taking a step back and looking at their plants. Look how far their harvest has gone. And then the Eight here. Eight of Pentacles is about mastering one's craft. Nine of Pentacles, all about enjoying one's wealth, one's abundance. And then the 10, we are not only enjoying the abundance from the 9, but we're going to be sharing it with others. So this is a really beautiful card. Then here we go into the courts. We have the Page with the light bulb, which makes sense. The Cowboy on the horse for Action of Pentacles, which is the Knight. The Spirit for the Queen has that bunny here. And then the embodiment for the King. Going into the Suit of Swords, which is all about our communication skills, our logistics, our way of thinking. So we have the Ace here with the, ooh, is it a toucan? Oh God, I really don't know my animals, folks, clearly. But this is a very beautiful card. The orange really, really radiates. And then the Two here, this is about making perhaps a difficult choice between two different options. So we have two feathers here, we have two doors, we have two keys. two different colors, blue and green. Basically, making a choice to better oneself or to better one's journey, but we can't stand still long, right? Then the three, having a very traumatic experience, experiencing loss, some type of grief. We've lost something and our heart is ripped into shatters, ripped into pieces. The four, this is actually from this traumatic experience of the three, we're actually going to retreat and get our thoughts together. So it looks like this person is at it, perhaps meditating. Going into the five, this is interesting. The five is about someone who has basically caused a rift between their own relationships. At what cost? So in the traditional artwork, we have one person who's collected almost all of the swords and two people are just basically walking away. So this is interesting to see, like the trophy here, it looks very dirty, right? There's like moss growing or some type of green stuff going on. The Six of Swords. The Six of Swords, so we're actually going from experiencing the five and going into a different journey and leaving one journey in the past and going on to another. I like how the green just radiates in the distance. The Seven, this is a trickery card, the Thievery. So we have like a leopard or a panther that's high on the branch, just looking down. The Eight, we are being bound by our thoughts. However, we are not so tied to them, we can easily get ourselves from the situation. We just basically need to flip the perspective, right? The Nine, ooh, this is the Nightmare card and all its glory. So this is from having all of our thoughts and worries and all of that just really taking a toll on our mental state where we literally physically can't sleep. Very spooky. The 10, this is the end of all. This is rock bottom. So it looks like perhaps a ship has shipwrecked or something, or because we have a life ring here with all of these debris. So perhaps, yeah, I don't know if we've been shipwrecked. Maybe we have been shipwrecked, but we see that there's a boat in the distance that perhaps can come help us. Even though it's rock bottom for the Ten of Swords, there's always a way up. All right, so going inspiration for a page. The action for the night. Looks like we're actually on like a snowy mountain. Spirit for Queen. And then embodiment for the King. So I'm very interested to learn more about this guidebook. So let me give the deck a shuffle and see what card or cards we get. All right, so we have the Spirit of Wands. All right, so in the guidebook, we have a total of 188 pages. So we go into the contents. We have an introduction, perhaps to talk about the deck. And the logo, ooh, interesting. And then it definitely talks about the name changes for some of the cards. And then there's some spreads. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like there's some interesting spreads here. And then we go into the major arcana. So we have Spirit of Wands. So we get a full page color of, full color of the card. Channeling the Spirit of Wands feels warm, bold, and full of confidence. Challenges don't stop you in your tracks. They ignite a brighter fire within. Even when they highlight your weaknesses, you acknowledge them and use them to expand. Facing your shadowy side doesn't have to be a scary prospect. In fact, your ability to shine a light on these aspects of yourself can be a learning experience for others. Many are drawn to your powerful light. They sense your passion and influence. When you walk into a room, your magnetism is undeniable. You are both admired and inspiring. Being the center of attention is your happy place. Your self-assurance shines for all to see. The Spirit of Wands may also represent someone else around you. And then it has four little paragraphs here about the actual symbolism that's in the card. So we have Black Cat. Snuffles, the cat, sits at your feet, reflecting the calm acceptance of your shadow side. Similar to this feline, you are confident in who you are and have established your own beliefs. Candle, shine your light. The candle brings hope, warmth, and the flame of determination. Orange Calcite Wand. Orange calcite is a highly energizing crystal that works wonders on the lower chakras and enhances feelings of connection to our beautiful planet and a sense of belonging. It also enhances sexual energy and creativity and helps integrate the spiritual realm within the physical realm. Sunflowers. These bold flowers seek light and share the energies of optimism, happiness, and satisfaction. So let's go into the major and see. Okay, so it looks like we're getting upright and reversal keywords. Basically, a description of the essence of the High Priestess, and then it goes into the iconography within the card. So here we have the female, male elements, the moon, the pomegranate, the scroll, and the veil. So basically what these classic symbols represent. So I really like that. And then the last page is about the creator, Robin. Well, the Tarot of Oneness was definitely worth the wait. I did have to wait a couple months for this. However, the creator, Robin, was super, super nice about it. I am so excited to work with this deck. As I said earlier in the video, it reminds me of decks that have this perspective, but it kind of goes in a different direction, right? It has a different vibe. It has there's something different, whereas I wanted to add this to my deck library. I really think the guidebook is really great because it offers that insight of some of the iconography or the symbols within each card. So I really like that. So folks, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the Tarot of Oneness? How do you feel about the first person perspective in tarot decks? I know this is not the first time that the first person perspective has been used in tarot decks, but I felt this one was a little different compared to the others, and I felt the need to definitely add this to my deck library. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this lovely deck? And until next time, I will see you for my next video. Take care.